Hello and welcome to another video of Johnny Keys Piano channel. So in this video, I'll do an honest review of the new 2021 version, Roland FP-30X. So it has just been announced and released about 1 or 2 months ago, and luckily, where I'm at the place where I'm staying, which is Vietnam, they have the models now for me to review. Anyway, I'm an independent reviewer, and basically I'm not affiliated, I'm not associated with any shops or any places, so I'm not obliged to say anything like lying for them or just or saying good thing only for them. So I can just say whatever I want to say, my honest review. So you can trust me. Okay, now, so because I'm an independent reviewer, so when I walk into the shop, I have to thank Viet Thương Music Store in Vietnam for having this instrument, and and I can play on it and then review on it. But then, because I'm an independent reviewer, they did not let me do a long video because they say something like they want to protect their brand and their image or something, and they already had like their own like professional kind of review team. But to be honest with you, those review videos, most of them I saw, oh my god, they're just horrible. Basically, first they lie, and the second thing I saw in those kind of review videos, they are just like their level of knowledge is not there. It's just not existing. Every piano they say it's just like good thing, good thing, good thing, and good thing only, and it sounds very general. So as a buyer, you might be extremely confused, and you will have to judge by the look of the piano, and which is very bad. Because for a good piano, the sound and the key are basically the two main things that you should look at, and the look should be the third one after the sounds and the keys. Okay, anyway, so back to the FP-30. So basically it is the replacement of the FP-30 that has been around for like 3 or 4 years already. And by that time, I remember I did try on the FP-30, but I wasn't very how can I say, I wasn't very convinced of the quality of it, and a lot of people, they are skeptical about FP-30 because the FP-30 does not have the quarter-inch output, and because of that, oh excuse me, oh sorry, I just went down to get the package. Anyway, so where were I? So basically, back to the story about the FP-30. A lot of people were skeptical about like the fact that it doesn't have quarter-inch output. So it means that you cannot properly use it as a stage piano, but you need to maybe convert it, like use a converter or something. But that leads to another problem: the headphone output jack. It's used as the kind of like output as well, and because of that, the quality out is not really good. So that's the second concern that people with FP-30. And the third concern, well, it's with the key action. So basically the FP-30 used to have, it has the PHA progressive hammer action for standard action, which is the cheapest in the PHA4 family. So basically, to be fair, it's not a bad action, okay? It's actually quite a good one. But some people complain that, okay, that action will deteriorate through time, the clicking noise, and other things like that. Well, I think, through the manufacturing process, sometimes you get a defective model, and sometimes that problem happens. But when I tried on the FP-30 like a few years ago, it wasn't that bad. I didn't feel like it has any kind of defect at all. I mean, the keys it was quite good. It gives me a feel of like durability. It's quite hard. It's tough enough on the hands, on the fingers, and how can I say? it's good for classical music as well as other kind of modern music. Okay, but the surface of the keys, okay, it grips very well on your hands. But the thing is, I feel like my fingers always irritates a little bit because I think because the keys are quite stiff, so it increases the friction when you touch on the key surface. And it could be worse if you have dry skin and dry and sensitive skin like I have, like I do. And after a while, it could make me feel like very dry out on my fingers, and it increase friction and increase pain as well. So it's not really for long-term practice, to be honest with you. It's just too dry. I mean, yeah, but for other skin types, I'm sure if you have oily skin, or if you're normal skin, that wouldn't be a problem. That would be excellent for you. Because it seems like the key surface, the white and the black keys on PHA4 standard action, it absorbs the oil or the dust or moisture very well. Now, so that was the complaint of the action, and I didn't remember there any other complaints, I guess. Okay, so now come to the new 2021 edition, the FP-30X. So, of course, they did improve a lot of things in here, I would say. Now, let's just look first at the general thing of the FP-30, okay? Because I can only do like a review for 2 minutes or something because the shop didn't let me. So that's why I had to do it this way, okay? Now, so the general look of the FP-30, you can see this is how you look at it from the from above. This is how the keys looks like. The keys and the buttons. It's still like plastic buttons, and you just have to press on it a lot. You can see the curves. They curves the piano quite well, and it looks quite a kind of stylish with some kind of good design in their mind, yes. But general, it's just plastic, and to reduce the cost, to reduce the weight, they have to make everything plastic. Well, for plastic, of course, it gives the player the feel of it's cheaper. This is a cheaper instrument, but no, I think it's a quite okay instrument, to be honest. Now, so this unit was made in Malaysia, as you can see on the label here. It's a Malaysia. And so because it made of plastic, so if you're not careful, and if you bring the piano like to a stage often, and you're not careful, you fall down. You might fall down, and I'm afraid if the piano hits some harsh corner, like rocks or stone on the floor, it could potentially damage the thing inside. I'm not so sure yet because I didn't dare trying that. Okay, I didn't like doing falling tests or attack or like a torture test or whatever on the piano. Okay, so I didn't know. I couldn't be sure of that. But the general feel, it is plastic, okay? But it doesn't feel cheap, okay? It doesn't feel cheap. It feels normal. Now, so move on to the back side. You can see that, okay, so the piano is quite thick. As you can see, the height. It has this huge bump over here. And that is something I do not like. That thing is like something that's persistent from the FP-30 and now the FP-30X. That extra bit here, I don't know why they have to make it that high. That thick. Why can't they just make it like from here to there, say 20? No, I'll say 15 millimeter, maybe 15 centimeters. Why can't I just do that? It looks a bit ugly if you have this part. And of course, look at the connections. You can see here, this is an addition to the FP-30X. FP-30. You now have the output of left and right mono. So you can have full stereo sound if you plug both of them to hook both of them sorry, if you hook both of them to the external speakers. And here you have USB memory stick, like, and you can stick it in there, or you can have USB to computer. So that's exactly the kind of like connectors for the printer, to computers. And it allows you to use computer software. And of course, DC, like power in, Well, what I do not like is that you can only use PSB7U adapter of Roland. So you cannot use any other kind of adapter out there, which sucks. What would happen in case the adapter breaks? That's what I don't like. I mean, and this one is still like the same thing compared to FP30. Now, my next concern that I do have is that it doesn't have the audio input. Why is it important? Because basically audio input allows you to use the iPad, and you can just plug into the audio input, and then another one, the MIDI signal, will come to here, USB computer. So it allows you to use like VST software, like for example Ravenscroft 275 or iGran apps on iPad. But unfortunately, on the FP30, it doesn't exist. The input jack, the audio input jack doesn't exist. So it means that you cannot use this FP30 on stage with iPad through that method. Now, and this one's for the pedal one, anyway, not important. However, what you can use the iPad on stage with this piano is with the Bluetooth function. Of course, you can connect Bluetooth with this FP-30X, but a lot of people complains that Bluetooth is not a very reliable technology. It's always flickering out, and there are basically noise, or there could be latency. So it doesn't feel like the iPad respond very well to the Bluetooth signal. I mean, give the Bluetooth signal to the piano, and it's always a lateness or latency. So that's one of my complaints as well. Well, no input, no audio input. Now, oh, excuse me. So that's about the outer thing, and then connectors and apps and things. Well, of course, you can use Piano Partner 2 or other kind of newer Roland apps, I would say. There you go. So this one, it's the iPad I use. And so, of course, I have to plug this one to USB computer at the back of this piano. And another one is the input, audio input. But this piano doesn't have anyway. Now, moving on. Now I'll go to the control of the keys. I mean, control of the all the functions and things. So there are no screen at all. So it means you have to keep pushing a button and then press on this key for this function and such. Like for example, oh, why can't I just? Oh, this is a video. Sorry. Moment. Anyway, so you can see they wrote down the functions here. Like for example, you can turn on the speaker. You can turn the speaker to stand mode, or turn the speaker to desk mode. Like when you put the piano on a desk, the speakers will point toward upward toward you. If you put it on stand, then the sound will point toward the floor. And you can turn off the speakers of this piano this way. I mean, generally, this is not a bad. I mean, it's not a bad way to control, but it's just annoying. It's just a bit annoying. Why can't it just give us like a screen or something? Anyway, now I'll move on to the keys. Okay, key action. So key action is of course still the same old BHA4 standard action with ebony on the black key and ivory on the white keys. But trust me, it's the same exact action. Nothing new. What news is basically they improve the speakers of this piano. So you might see the sounds being a bit louder, clearer. And then that sound interact with the key components, the keys components inside, and it creates a slightly different feel, a slightly more convincing feel for the player. So even though it's the same PHA4 standard, but because of better speakers and better sound, a little bit better sound, it produces a more convincing kind of experience for the player. And I did complain about like a lot of things, like the key being a bit too absorbent, like it's bad for dry skin and things. But generally, when I play it, it was not that bad. Okay. Of course, they did improve a little bit. They, how can I say, include a few more piano sounds, of course, and the polyphony is now 256. So it means you can just play whatever you want and layers a lot without having to worry about, sometimes it's skip a note or something like that, or it mute a note or something like that. You don't have to worry about that at all now. So that is one good improvement. Well, I'm sure the recording function's good and metronome is also quite okay. And everything's still the same though. Everything here is still the same. Now, move on to the sound. Okay. All right. Massive improvements over the everything. You can see, you can turn off the speaker. No, it's the wrong function. Okay, you can turn on the speaker, or you can turn on to speaker stand, so the sound will resonate and go through the floor. Or you can press go to desk. So if you put this one on the desk, piano on the desk, this is how it's gonna sound like. So the sound's pointing upward, okay? Now, so I'm gonna go back to speaker stand and increase the ambience, so you can see how much ambience this piano can possibly have. I just don't like it when I have to press like this. And brilliance, I think the brilliance is fine. I can change the key touch as well, but I don't want it to do it now. Let's try piano 1, and you can see. Now let's try piano 2. There you go. So that seems like a massive improvement. But the problem is the keys. Basically, it's hard, durable enough, but the problem is I have sensitive skin, dry and sensitive skin, so after a while it might irritate my skin. But if you have normal skin, it's fine. Alright, beside from that, I mean, the speaker have been improved, and they have the, what is it called? The big one, audio output, so it's very good to be on stage. Alright. Right, so after that video, let me just discuss the sound a little bit. So it seems like the speaker has been improved. Yes, it has. And so it provides a more, how can I say, fulfilling experience as a player. So now, because basically you can change the speaker position for like desk or stand, so it can fit your situation, whether you're putting an FP-30 on like a desk or you put it on a stand. and it should give you more choices in terms of like sound, like how the sound projected to you. Okay, now, so basically, through my trial of the piano, like I just sit down and try it. I feel like the equalizer of the sound has been changed compared to the FP30. So the sounds a little bit more softer. It sounds warmer as well, not so bright, like bite into your ears like that, like the FP30. But now the sounds are much more warmer. It doesn't mean it's more full. It's like not more layers. It's just the same amount of layers, but it sounds warmer, you know. It sounds more like a acoustic piano now, not like bitey bitty into your ears, like bang bang bang. Not like that. Okay, so that's about the sound. The overall experience seems good enough. I mean, it can be a piano that goes with you for many years, like say up to the time that you want to upgrade maybe to FP-90X or something like that. But for beginners, I think this one is actually a very good buy. It's a very good purchase. I mean, the overall feel of everything, it seems good enough. I mean, it's good for beginners to intermediate level. And I actually did play like Sweet Child of Mine and other kind of rock tunes on this FP-30X before they told me that I cannot record for too long, more than 2 minutes. And it feels convincing. It feels good. I mean, the general sound, I mean, this piano is placed in a large room, but it feels like the speakers are adequate. Basically, the speakers did the job well, and I did not hear any kind of dropping of notes. I find that the general experience it's just pleasant, more pleasant than the FP30. Okay, and about the extra sounds, you know, bells and whistles, who cares? I mean, if you are the one who find this piano as a piano player, of course you care about the keys, action, and the sound. But I see that the sounds has been improved a little bit. Keys are the same, but because of the sound improvements, the key feels a bit more convincing. Now, how about the pedal? Where's the picture with the pedal? So, I mean, the pedaling experience, it seems similar to the FP30, so there's nothing new, I would say. Oh well, you cannot ask for too much at this price range, right? I mean, this piano feels much better. It's a much better purchase, I think, compared to the FP10. Because why? Look at the length. The length from the end of the key to the back of the piano. It looks like relatively kind of okay length. It's not so compact at the FP10. Well, I did a review on the FP10 before on my old channel, and the FP10, because it's so damn compact, it's so compact, so it might make you have a feel of cheapness, like it's a bit cheap. Even though it has the same PHA4 standard action, but because of the design, the whole cabinet is just like the whole design, the whole thing is just like too plastic. It's just too short, or it's just too compact. So of course it affects the general feel when you touch the keys and the sound as well. I think the FP-X is a really good purchase. So get it now. That's my honest review. That's my honest comment. Okay. Alright, I think that's the end of the video. If you have more questions, feel free to comment down below and I will try to answer your comment as fast as I can, okay? Please like, share this video with your friends, subscribe to my YouTube channel and press on the bell button next to it so you can get notified about my new uploads, okay? You can also follow my Facebook, but please don't add me on Facebook as friends, okay? Thank you and see you in my next video. Bye bye.